Kyle Gibson goes 6 strong innings. Gunnar Henderson is the stinking hero on offense and defense. And Felix Bautista empties the stinking tank and goes 5 outs for the save and preserve the 4-2 Baltimore victory. Let's get into it. Mound visit time. Let's go O's! What's going on, Birdland? Baltimore Bops here, and welcome to the Baltimore Bops YouTube channel, where we discuss all things Baltimore Orioles. And in this episode, we're going to talk about the Game 1 4-2 win that the Baltimore Orioles just had in their first game in Toronto. Big stinking spot. So we'll get right into it. Top of the first, the Birds start off fast, but it was after they started off slow. Try to wrap that around in your brain. Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson both strike out. Bassett works them both. 2 out, real quick, top of the first, before Anthony Santander draws a walk and O'Hearn singles to left, putting runners at the corners. Ryan Mountcastle then works the count full before hitting a sharp double to right, scoring 2 and giving the Birds their second hot start in as many days, when the Birds go up 2-0. So the O's made Bassett throw 37 pitches in the top half of the first. Kyle Gibson is able to work around some traffic with runners in first and second in the bottom half of the inning, and then Mateo flags down a sharp hit ground ball right up the middle and has a beautiful flip to Frazier to get out of the inning unscathed, moving to the top of the second. So Cowser continues his struggles at the plate with a K. It was one of his 3 strikeouts of the day, and this one, top of the second, was the first one. Mateo comes up behind him, has a beautiful sharp single to left center, ends up taking second base on a steal, and the very next pitch gets greedy, trying to take third, and gets shot. Well, Rutsch lines out to right, and that is how the Birds end the second. But Gibby goes 1-2-3 in the bottom half. Now, it's a little bit of fireworks. Gunnar Henderson leads off the stinking inning by taking a 1-2 pitch to deep right for a stinking huge solo shot. 3-0, good guys. Anthony Santander follows by taking another 1-2 pitch to left with a stand-up 2-bagger. O'Hearn then gets Santander to third on an absolutely blistered line out to right before Mountie, with 1 down, gets a sac fly to score Santander, making it 4-0 Birds in the top of the third. And that is all the offense that they would need due to some excellent Baltimore pitching. Gibby goes 1-2-3 in the bottom half, but it was really weird. It was a real weird spot in the game because with 2 outs, Bo Bichette hits a hard single and he rounds first, and he's definitely looking for 2, but he throws on the brakes when Anthony Santander throws it into second base. And as he's throwing on the brakes, you could tell that something was not right with one of his knees. Mateo's ends up being able to tag him out, and Bichette has to leave the game. Obviously, Bo Bichette is a fantastic ball player. You don't wish injury on anybody, so I hope that he recovers soon. Moving to the top of the fourth, Colton Cowser continues his struggles at the plate with a leadoff strikeout, and Bassett goes 1-2-3 in the top half. Gibby goes 1-2-3 in the bottom half. Then Bassett works around a 2-out O'Hearn single in the top half of the fifth, and nothing is happening for the Birds. But the Blue Jays in the bottom half are able to get one back on Kiermaier's fielder's choice. But then Gunnar makes an incredible play at third by knocking a sharp hit ball down and then barehanding it, throwing an absolute missile over to stinking first. Listen, is this guy not already the best third baseman in baseball? He just hit his 17th home run of the year. I think he had 6 POs in this one. I mean, if you hit it over there, the kid is a stinking vacuum. When he's playing third, you better go to the other side of the field. The kid has been absolutely phenomenal, and he's got a stinking rope for an arm. Nothing for either team in the 6th. And then how about the big spot that Danny Coulomb comes in the top of the 7th? So Gibby is looking good. He ends up stinking walking the leadoff runner in the top of the 7th. Hey, he went 6 strong. Gibby goes 6 strong. Gibby goes 6 strong, gives up only 4 hits, 1 run earned, 2 walks, and 5 Ks. Fantastic start for Kyle Gibson. Put the Birds in a real good spot to win the baseball game. So he walks the leadoff batter in the bottom half of the 7th, and then Brandon Hyde has a decision to make, and he brings in Danny Coulomb. And when I tell you that Danny Coulomb got through that inning and he did not have his best game as far as control is concerned, somehow he managed to get out of that stinking inning unscathed because he was everywhere. So you got to tip your cap to Danny Coulomb because it's always impressive when guys don't have their best stuff and they're able to make it happen. So he had a great outing considering that it wasn't his best outing. Yinyer comes in the top half of the 8th, and he struggled. As good as he looked last night, he didn't look so good tonight, which brought in Felix Bautista for an unprecedented 5-out save. It's 4-2 Birds. They got all kinds of traffic in the 8th, and Felix is able to have a quick last 2 outs of the 8th inning, and then he's able to stink and work through some traffic in the 8th. He threw 35 pitches for 1 2/3. He did walk 2 batters, but he also struck out 3. And most importantly, he gets his 29th save of the season, and he preserves the Game 1 win for the Baltimore Orioles. Once again, Coulomb, Yinyer, Felix, they did not have their best stuff tonight, but they found a way to make it happen. An extremely impressive win north of the border in Game 1. So you got to be pleased with how the Birds came out and handled business. That puts them at 65-41. They're still only a game and a half above the Tampa Bay Rays because the Rays beat the Yankees in Yankee Stadium tonight. So Birds are still playing good baseball. They're still a game and a half up in the AL East, and they will look to do the same thing tomorrow in Game 2 at 7:07, first game of August, and see if the stinking Baltimore Orioles can stay hot. We got our man Kyle Bradish on the hill. That's a good pitcher in the rotation to have in this spot, because how awesome would it be to go ahead and take the first 2 in this 4-game set and make sure that we at least split with the 3rd best team in the AL East. The Toronto Blue Jays will put Ryu on the hill, so it should be an interesting matchup between the O's and the Blue Jays tomorrow. Hey, once again, fantastic W. The Birds continue to find ways to win even when they don't have their best stuff. How great is Gunnar Henderson? The guy is stinking really coming into his own. We have got a special talent in that kid, man. You know, I can't say that enough. He's phenomenal. And we'll look to see if Gunnar can have another phenomenal game in Game 2 tomorrow. Hey, enjoy the win. We'll see you tomorrow at 7:07. And how about them stinking Birds, Birdland? We'll catch you in the next one.